What do you know? Another poll. I mean, I have had it with these polls. They're so boring. Who could they possibly be talking to? I mean, not me, because when I get a call from a pollster, I just hang up. They're not talking to anybody I know either, because they don't have time to waste. Isn't it still garbage in, garbage out? I mean, what could they possibly find out from somebody who doesn't have anything better to do than hang around the phone all day waiting for it to ring so that they can talk to a complete stranger with a whole list of questions just for a little bit of company? Polls. You could do just as well talking to a rubber chicken. Wait a minute. Rubber chickens. There's an idea. I mean, that's kind of like what the Romans did in ancient Rome. The priests would cut open doves and sacred pigeons and whatever, and they would read the entrails and tell you whether a storm was coming or whether the legions were going to win or lose. In fact, as I recall, they were pretty good. Didn't they tell Caesar, beware the Ides of March? Only Caesar didn't listen. That's probably what's missing in this campaign cycle. There's been a complete lack of ritual sacrifice. Imagine that. Ritual sacrifice with rubber chickens. Now that would be something new. Shouldn't be that hard. We've got new products, materials, technology. Rubber chickens aren't a protected class. Shouldn't upset animal rights activists. You know what? Why don't we do it? Let's bring on Joe the Oracle and see what he has to say. Let's go ahead and sacrifice a few rubber chickens and see what this election's going to do. To make this work, if you want to do an experiment with rubber chickens, you have to find a few rubber chickens that are alike. The problem is, these things are not that well quality controlled. Well, there are quite a few chickens we can't use. There's the weird pale rubber chicken. There's the designer chicken with the high-heeled campaign boots. The not at all right rubber chicken. The Lieberman look-alike rubber chicken. There's the Molotov security risk rubber chicken. The lipstick on a rubber chicken. And then there's the Obama booster carrier rubber chicken. The good news is we actually did find 5 perfectly fine, reasonably identical chickens. And we will use those chickens for the rest of our experiment. Now, we are getting ready to do the actual augury here. I want you to know that we have not filmed the mumbo-jumbo ritual Latin stuff that goes with all this. It takes a long, long time, and it's not interesting for most people. You will note that I have appropriately put on safety glasses and protective clothing. No one's ever done this before, so you can't really know what to expect. Anyway, we will start by making a careful incision on the first chicken. Then we will fold this back, and there we have that. We will do that for each of these chickens, and we expect to find pretty much the same in each. Let's do one more. This is the last one, and then we will go in and basically take them apart. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, I may need to use the knife to cut through some of these things. Okay. If you look in there, I can see a heart. You'll notice it's blue. Look at that. What is this? This is vinyl tubing. Well, you know, it's a rubber chicken. I guess vinyl tubing isn't all that unexpected. Okay, we'll pull this out. Well, so far, what I see here is we have blue and red. Well, I guess that the way we would read that is Republican and Democrat, or blue for Democrat. And we also have 2 strange things in here. It's a bit unexpected. They look like crow's feet. Well, it could be. We'll put that here. That's a special thing to note. It came from the chicken that had the red heart. All right, here we have another. I would guess that's a Democratic heart. Okay. Seems to be bigger than the Republican ones. We'll see. This isn't the sort of thing that is typically filmed. This is normally done in great mysticism, and no one has ever actually filmed one of these things before. the last one. So we have 5 chickens, 5 hearts. Okay. Now I wonder what that'll tell us. Let's do this. Let me turn on the scale here. It puts us at about 4.6 ounces. Let's remember that. 4.6 ounces of blue and 1.1 ounce of red heart. Since these hearts are smaller, I think we should cut them open and see. Let me move this over here. Okay, let's look at this. Let's examine this heart. We'll cut this one open. Goodness. Okay, will you look at that? This heart is almost totally black inside. Interesting. The size of the heart is one thing, but the actual condition of the heart is actually more important. Let's cut this one open and see what we got here. Well, this looks like a perfectly healthy blue heart. It does have some black. I think the black is an indication of negativity. Let's look at this one here. This one's a little smaller than the others, and there are some signs of negativity. But it's perfectly fine. Completely different story with the red hearts. Well, that is it. We had 4.6 ounces of blue heart and 1.1 ounce of red heart, and we will use that information to give us a percentage indication. First, the immediate question. What does this mean for the election returns? Well, as far as that's concerned, the hearts that we saved tell us everything we need to know. We had 3 blue hearts to 2 red hearts. They were uniformly larger and healthier in appearance than the red ones. Visually, a factor of 2 to 1 is evident. So, therefore, we conclude that blue will win over red by a 2 to 1 margin on election day. Why? Well, the reason actually serves as a metaphor for the entire campaign so far. Hearts thrive and flourish with positive inputs, while if all you give them is negative, toxic input, well, what you get is disease, atrophy, and decay, which is what the blackened discoloration and the size disparity is showing us. With our national confidence already shaken, our nerves frayed and fearful, a campaign that piles even more fear and divisiveness on top of all of that just pushes people away and drives the numbers further apart. But the rubber chickens actually tell us more than that. They answer a question that we forgot to ask, and that is, what will things look like several months after the election? Not just the day after, but say on the 15th of March, the Ides of March, if you will, 2009. This is where the percentages come in. When we weighed it, we found out that we had 80.7% total blue heart weight compared to 19.3% total red heart weight. For a while, this didn't make any sense to us. We finally figured out that these percentages are an indicator of future approval ratings. We predict that the approval ratings for Senator Obama will rise to 80.7% after he takes office as things begin to improve. It turns out that the systemic problems that we now face aren't ones that we can surge or even borrow our way out of. We need coordination, cooperation, goodwill on a global scale, and a great deal of hope to fix this. We finally have a candidate who can inspire that kind of belief and hope, not just here at home, but abroad. Above all, we need a leader who can bring it all together, a leader who has it all together, a leader like Senator Obama.